Okay, Daniel, we're gonna just mute you for a little bit.
Hi, good people. This is Andy of Andy's Personal Development presenting the Breakout. And we're saying it is time to break out, people. Time to break out. You may be wondering, from what? Well, here we go. Here's the list. The darkness of not knowing, the prison of fear, the emptiness of rejection, the lack of knowledge, the lack of a vision, the lack of love, and the lack of fulfillment. Welcome, my friends. Join us as we go into theater in the breakout room. Stay tuned. Our special guest this evening on the breakout room is none other than Mr. Daniel Goodenough, helping us to remember why we are here. He has over 30 years as a lifetime coach, and his experience has created a long-lasting legacy that will live on for a long time to come. The Caravan of Remembering is his lifetime work. It's a roadmap for experiencing the awakening of your life's mission. He is indeed a life mission coach. His intent and purpose. Daniel published The Caravan of Remembering in 2016 and then founded Caravan of Remembering Enterprise with the intention that anyone, anywhere, anytime, under any circumstance, who remembers enough to want to know why they are here and have some help in doing it, that there will be a way, a vehicle, and a person to help them with that. His legacy, remembering why you are here. That will be the theme of our conversation this evening with Daniel. So, what he has done, Daniel Goodenough has invested a lifetime of research to discover and create processes, services, systems, and platforms to support individuals, teams, and enterprises to live their vision and unique life mission in the way the world most needs it done. Let's give a warm welcome to our special guest in the breakout room, Mr. Daniel Goodenough.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Hi, Daniel. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for
Wonderful.
having me.
Wonderful to have you here, my friend. This is indeed a pleasure, and we are so grateful that you took the time and you seized upon the opportunity to join us in this wonderful atmosphere that we call the breakout room. So, Daniel, we were having a little discussion before the show actually began, and you were telling me some very interesting stuff about yourself, your life, your accomplishment, and even what you intend to further accomplish in the future. But tell me, when people hear the term the caravan of remembering, what is the thing that you really want them to come to mind, to be aware of, most of all, especially when it relates to them as an individual?
What the Caravan Remembering was designed to do is to help people remember why they're here. why you're on the planet in a body, why you're here, what that calls you to do, and who that calls you to be. And I call the doing the outer life mission, and the who you're called to be the inner life mission. So that, and I say remembering in that it's not so much creating, designing it, inventing it now. We can dance with how we're going to present that now, given what's happening in the world. But that the idea is that it was, as certain sacred texts would say, it's written in your members, that
Right.
you came with it already, and it's about remembering it. And a certain amount of research says that actually most people do or would remember why they're here around 7, somewhere between 6 and 8. The brain is just formed enough
Yeah.
that you kind of get what's happening here, and you still have a piece of that you came in with about why you're here. And then many people just get talked out of it, and other people are just traumatized. So if you weren't traumatized and you had people in your life who weren't trying to convince you not to remember, not to forget, to remember, not to forget, you would remember it. So the idea is that there are systems and strategies and tools and practices you can do to remember. And then the next thing is, when you remember what it is, then there's the manner of, and I would say the why you're here doesn't change for your entire lifetime. The
Right.
what you're called to do about that will certainly change, because the world is changing and we're changing as individuals. So the what you're called the vehicle to express it will change often. The why probably doesn't. So then it's the work to be present to how you're meant to grow and evolve with the way hopefully the world will grow and evolve, even though it doesn't seem like it's doing that sometimes.
Yeah. I get that based on your response that there is some concern about basically the early part of someone's life, let's say between the 68-year-old period. I would like to know from your perspective, and I'm sure those who are watching live would like to know as well, what are some of the factors that you think would have caused some people to really put what they are supposed to remember as their purpose on the back burner, so to speak? Is it because of the education system? Is it because of the social cycle or economic challenges? What do you think really, or is it a combination of those that would have caused persons to forget?
I would definitely say all the above.
Mhm.
I think there's a, so our educational system is primarily designed for the industrial age, where you were discouraged from even having that question about what am I individually here for, because it was more about making you, the assembly line was the deal, and so putting you on the assembly line, so and you start thinking about that, you might not want to do that. So there's that. So the system wasn't really designed for that educationally. And then culturally, we had this thing where, if you're in the military, do your 20 years and you can retire from the military, or if you're in some kind of a uh, assembly line thing, you're 20 or 30 years and then you have a pension. And so the just do the thing you're not that excited about, and you'll get a pension, and then you can do what you want, kind of cultural thing. And then there's the real job thing. Yeah, a child at 7 might say, "I wanna," and then oh, that's nice, that's nice. And then at some point, it's like, and when you're going to get it, talk about a real job, right? So there's all of that. Um, it's cultural, and then there's a particular quote in the Bible that it isn't just limited to Christianity. It's kind of all the spiritual traditions have a certain idea that
Sure.
in the Bible, there's train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is older, he will not depart from it.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
which is saying that your parents should tell you what to do, right? Or like parents know, and you're a kid, you don't know. So listen to your parents and do what they, and all that. And that's not bad, wrong, and evil. It's just what they actually said in the more accurate translation was
Okay.
train up, was create an environment for life
Right.
according to your child's gift or bent. And
Mhm.
when he or she is older, he or she will not depart from it. So rather than creating the environment for life according to their gift or bent, and rather than the parent, this idea that the parent should tell the children what they should do with their life, the actual injunction from the wisdom book was to create an environment, that your job as a parent was to be clued into their gift or bent, and then create an environment for life to inspire and cultivate and grow that. So we had culturally a thing where parents should and often, we had Smith's son, son of the Smith. We had
Yes.
that thing where if your parents were in this field, you should go into that field. That was a cultural thing. So
Right.
just culturally, we haven't done a good job for a long, long time. In the West, there are other cultures that are more focused on developing your gift event. So, and then there's the family of origin trauma that could short circuit the whole thing, right? Like you just go away to survive. The
Mm.
survival strategy is to disassociate from your life, right? So somewhere deep in the inside is the remembrance of why you're here, but it's covered over with a lot of disassociation for whatever reasons your family of origin or your community, or I don't know, that might be happening with kids with COVID now, who knows, but whatever the reason of trauma is, that short circuits that natural bent to remember and grow into why you're here. The odds are not great right now. And that's one of the things that I want to change about the world. I would like, if you said, what's my vision for the world? I'd say my vision for the world is that that the world gets to a place where we all take it as self-evident that everybody's here for a reason. And anytime anyone, anywhere, someone doesn't step into that, we all lose.
Wow. Bordering on that, Daniel, tell me, how can one know when they're actually living their life's mission? What are the signs that can bear evidence that they're actually on that path, that they have got it?
Well, I suppose the most commonly recognized thing is that they have a sense of fulfillment and usually courage. They're less fazed by trends. They're more usually, you don't have to be outgoing. I would have actually said as a child I was fairly shy, and still I always said to myself, my why is more important than my considerations, like being shy and those kinds of things. The biggest factor I would say, and that's in the work that I do, is my basic tenet that knowing why you're here and being certain about that isn't something just for the lucky few. You don't have to be struck by lightning and eureka, epiphany moment. Oh, that's why I'm here, right? That it's a skill like any other thing you want to become good at in life. Any other thing you want to become masterful in life, you can become masterful in embodying, living into, sharing, expressing your reason for being here, and being the who that is called to be, the who that calls you to be, so that you can step into it. And what that, like, if you wanted to be an elite athlete, there would be practices to do every day. If you want to become an elite musician, there are scales to do every day. And as a musician, that was where I got the scales thing. So I call them scales because, like Pablo Casals, in his 90s, got up, even though he'd been a preeminent cellist in the world for many, many, many decades. He still got up every morning and did 3 hours of scales on his instrument. So in this case, you're the instrument. So there are scales to do. And if you do those scales and you do them consistently, you will absolutely be positively clear. You will be able to tell anyone, anywhere, under any circumstances, this is why I'm here. This is what it's calling me to do in this moment. That could change as the world changes. This is who it's calling me to be, and this is who I'll become by stepping into it. So that's about doing the inquiry, if you will. And they say that mastery in every tradition is a combination